Welcome to the Way Too Clutch podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Crawford. We talk about everything faith, family, fitness, and mindset. And typically, when you all see me sitting here at this chair, it's just me talking. But today, we have the honor of doing interviews. We do them every so often. We have great things that we want to share with the masses. And today, we have somebody who is become a rather phenomenon on social media. She is a boxing coach, co-owner of a gym. She also is a women's activist for the women and empowerment is really something that she's taken on really recently. But it seems like she's about to add another title, the title of author, to her resume. So I want to welcome to the show, Coach Cam. Say what's up, Coach Cam.
Hi, hi guys.
Welcome
Hello.
back, you guys. We did an episode before. You all see people seem to really love the advice that you were giving in our last episode, and I'm excited for this one in particular because you have a lot of things that are going on and a lot of things to look forward to in the future. But let's start off first by you just telling everybody your name, where you're from, and what you do.
So Camille is my real name, my government name, and I am a professional and amateur boxing coach, and I also speak for not just women, but everybody who deserves to be heard.
Oh, so you're trying to drop bars already?
I do.
I heard that.
Trying to be like Steven, you guys.
No. That's good though. People need that. People are really inspired. Tell everybody really quick before we get started. What's your Instagram handle? I'm gonna put it on the screen too.
Coach_Cam with 4 M's.
Okay, so now before we get into how I alluded to you getting into the topic of being an author now, let's kind of take a step back though. And the question always is, what got you into doing what you're doing now? Where did that love and that passion come from? Because you can see it. I've known you for many, many years. In the ring is a completely different human than when you're interacting. You're this very soft and bubbly person, and then I see you in the ring, and it's like a pit bull. It's like there's aggression. There's this aggression, but it really is. You can tell that you're just passionate about what you do. So where does that come from?
Pain, a lot of pain, a lot of pain. I told my old manager a long time ago, the boxing gym to me is like church. And when you see me screaming and I'm basically worshiping, that's because this is what saved me. That's where I hate that it's called aggression because I'm not trying to be aggressive. I'm more so being passionate about what I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a perception thing. People don't know. They wouldn't know how passionate you are about something unless they know the things that you have weathered, the storms that you've gone through. It can come off to some people as maybe cocky. Some people think it, whatever it is. I'm sure you deal with all of the things. The bigger that you become, the more things you have to deal with for sure. But just so we can kind of get into a little bit of the main reason why we're here today, a little while ago, and you were excited about a new project that you are working on.
Yes.
I don't know if it's done. I don't know. I said, don't tell me nothing about it, but why don't you go ahead and tell us about what you're working on?
So I am coming out with a book told by me, real life, real experiences. The name of the book is actually going to be called Camded. It comes from the word candid, but except we're going to put Camded on it. Cam did this, and it is also deriving from the word candid, which is in real time.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what to expect in this book.
The truth of
Of?
my life and what I've been through and how I got here. So, yeah.
All right, so let's elaborate for the folks. Let's give them a little bit of a teaser or a taste of the type of stories that they can expect. Because I know a lot of the things that have gone on, in your life. Maybe not to the extent of detail. Maybe I'll learn those things inside of the book. But and give us a little bit of detail of something that we can expect inside of this book.
So I know when I do any interview, I'm asked how hard is it for a woman to be in a male dominated sport. This is going to specify exactly what I've been through, who did what was done to me, and how I overcame it. it's going to be a good one.
Now, we don't want to give away too much, but
Right.
I would like for you to kind of give an overview of the story that you tell probably 1,000 times of what got you into boxing, because I think that kind of ties into, the reason you kind of have that this new awareness of existence and something you're living for now that's bigger than yourself, but it's derived from, your life before you stepped into that ring that led you to the ring. So kind of tell us, Neil, you don't got to give us the detail 'cause I'm sure it's going to be in there, but the story that I know that people would love to hear is what put you in that ring.
So I'm going to give a small excerpt from my book. I thought that I met the man of my dreams. He was a God-fearing man who was actually a preacher's kid. He was a preacher's kid, but lo and behold, he wasn't who he said he was, and he ruined my life completely. And there it is.
You gotta keep,
I gotta keep going.
yeah, you can't just leave us with a cliffhanger like
Um,
that.
no, he was very abusive towards me, very abusive. But oddly enough, even if the same thing was to happen to me today, I probably won't react the way that I thought I would, knowing what I know now. But no, yeah. So he was very abusive. So it led me to be in this sport, and now we're here. Now we're here.
Okay, so before we forget, when can we expect this?
So the drop date is supposed to be in the next 8 months. That is the drop date. I am a perfectionist a little bit. And also too, I was told that if I wanted to add people into the book, like let's say I want to speak about you being in my life and how you've affected my life in a positive way, I would need to like send you a release
Yeah,
form.
yeah,
So I got to do all that stuff.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's some process. It's just a lot more. And is this going to be audible? Are you going to be narrating this, or is it just going to be a hard?
The job is to have it be a hard copy, to be on Audible. It's going to sell at Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, Target, Walmart, wherever you can pick up a book. That is the job.
All right. So being that this is probably some of the early presser for this, do you have anything like any projects or anything that are upcoming that will kind of be appearances for you in the vein of promoting your book?
Yeah, so the first idea is to be in New York, right? Because New York is where all the dreams and the bestsellers come true. So we are going to make sure we find time to go to New York. And then Netflix is another thing. I really cannot speak on that though. But Netflix and me have been heavy. We've been like this. So hopefully that goes through as well. We're talking like cinematic or TV wise. Yeah.
Which leads me into my next question. Because being your friend and somebody who follows you on social media, I kind of can see all the things that you have going on in your life. And you've been doing a lot with Netflix, or you've been at a lot of events with Netflix. How did that come about? You can talk about.
The truth. So I'm sitting at home and I get an email, and it's from a lady who runs the marketing portion or the social media portion of Netflix. And I go, this got to be fake.
Mhm.
And it was inviting me to the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight in Texas. So I'm reading it, and then I go to the bottom and the Netflix sign just pops up and disappears, pops up and disappears. I go, oh my God, I think this is real. So then I responded. I said, oh, for, whatever, for giggles, let me say yes. Sure, I'd love to go to Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. The minute I responded, they responded back with a plane ticket, a hotel accommodation, everything. Everything was paid for. And then at the bottom, they said, Coach Cam, we've been following you for so long. It's such a pleasure to get you to be a part of us. So I said, oh,
Yeah, and I've seen it. Talk about that experience because I was able to view it from a bird's eye view. The gifts that you got, being able to actually attend,
yeah.
That fight, which was seen by a good bajillion people. Like it was a big deal. Talk about that experience.
Man, I made a video on my social media where I said Netflix is my boo. Like that is my man, because he flew me out. He paid for my hotel, paid for my food, paid for every step that I took. I had a driver. It was insane. And then I got perks on top of perks, bags and not shoes, gear, and like it was just crazy. They really take care of you. And they even said, Coach Cam, if you want to post, you can. You don't have to. Enjoy your time. Because I thought it was like okay, I take you out here. You gotta. No, that wasn't it at all.
That's love. So you did the Jake Paul Tyson fight.
Yes.
What else have you done with Netflix?
So the Squid Games premiere for the second installment of Squid Games, I did that. They flew me out for the Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor fight. Then I went and so I don't even like football. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know it. I know Deion Sanders, and that's as far as I. But I get this invite to the Dallas Cowboys. It's about Jerry Jones and how he bought the Cowboys, which is actually a great story, by the way. The Cowboys were the team back in the day.
Oh, 2 man.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's the only time I've ever been a fan of the Cowboys.
And that's what I heard too. Because when I posted that post, I got a lot of DMs saying, oh, the Cowboys suck. And I go, hey, I'm not even a Cowboys fan. I had a great time though. So they sent me to that. And that is the most recent thing that they sent me to. They did also give me like a Christmas package from when Beyonce performed. She did like a Christmas performance or something like that. They sent me a package for that. It was like a bunch of Christmas cookies with her face on it. So yeah, the next thing coming up is the Canelo and Crawford fight.
You going to be there?
I am.
Oh, I'm jealous now. Yeah, I'm team.
You really want me to get into this?
We don't got to get into it. We're just who you rooting for.
I love Crawford because Crawford is such a machine in the ring, but Canelo's going to beat him.
You think so?
Absolutely. Crawford had to go up weight.
Yeah. I'm team Bud. I think he's my cousin.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
From Michigan? He's from Michigan.
I think so.
And I'm namesake Crawford.
Okay.
My Crawford, they're from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And my dad was a Golden Gloves boxer. I didn't know him, but my dad.
I remember told me that.
The Crawfords are boxers. I never became a boxer. I was a basketball player.
Right.
But and I might have the genetics. We haven't tested that theory yet.
He's never came. He said he bought gloves, but like
they in
where
my trunk.
Are they? Oh, and gloves.
But you moved on me. You don't live nowhere near here anymore.
I know.
And you are always busy. Before this year is up, I'm taking some lessons. But you wanna know why I haven't taken no lessons with you yet?
Why?
Because you're gonna make fun of me.
That's not true.
See,
that is not true.
We got a relationship, so I'm
probably okay a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a couple. But I can't use that as no excuse though. But I'm saying I think it's logical. It makes sense that that would I don't know that side of my family, but I would not be surprised if he's like a second or third cousin or something. But I'm just a fan of him in general.
He's great.
I think this is a good challenge for him.
Yeah.
And this is a good challenge for Canelo as well. So it's gonna be good. I'm gonna be at home watching it. I'm gonna be at the house. I don't know. I looked up them tickets in Netflix ain't bay. So I'm gonna just use my $14.95 Netflix membership. We're just gonna party at the house. It was terrible. Now the last one that they did was good though.
Oh, good. Okay.
Fight, like that one didn't have any issues. Okay. Maybe they fixed it because I don't know. That was a hot mess. But being that those are some things that you've done with Netflix, has there been any other company or celebrity or person that you've worked with that has been an inspiration and that you're even excited to do more with in the future?
So I was actually asked to go to Colorado Springs to Terrence's camp, but apparently he's so heavy in camp that having guests is kind of like ugh. So I'm gonna go see him at the very end of his camp before fight week starts and meet Terrence Crawford. So I'm a little excited about that. Since we brought him up,
I'm gonna make sure that it's not on my face. How salty I am. But to be honest though, like all jokes aside, like you deserve all of the things that are coming. I feel like this is the start of the next chapter for you because you've had to endure a lot of things that maybe weren't your first choice, maybe your second choice. but it's kind of been like the patience game, and it's like you can kind of sense the reward is around the corner because I'm just a firm believer that you probably gotta they call it like eating shit for a little while until you eat good
Yes.
caviar, and
Yes.
it's it's kind of like you had to hold your tongue probably, I'm assuming. Well, then there's that. I'm sure that you've had to bite your tongue a lot and deal with things that you might not have wanted to,
Yeah.
but all of that has led to what you're on the cusp of. Because imagine you have some sort of cinematic something that comes out about, maybe, who knows, maybe we might get something about your life because it's interesting enough, and it's a story. We're in the women's empowerment era, so being an inspiration to little girls is amazing, and whatever's about to happen for you, I feel like it's going to be like the next 5 years for you are going to be unlike what you're even probably prepared for. But speaking of the little girls, I brought my daughters to you
I
like three. I
love
think they were
them.
3 or 4 years old. You remember I sent you the video
Yes.
like for your birthday, and it's crazy to think about. It's been 5 years, since it's been 5 years. Yeah, it's been five. They were little. They were just starting school, and now they're about to.
Teenagers now?
No, they're but preteen. They're about 11 years old. So you gotta think like time goes like that.
How are you feeling?
I don't look. My daughters right now are. I'm almost speechless. They're starting the fifth grade. So that's 5 years of school. 5 years of
Yes.
school they're about to go through, and boxing was the first sport that they did.
They were so good at it
They
too.
started. You can kind of tell that even how goofy they were, they really love being active.
Yeah.
And that was like the start of them. And I know you deal with and work with a lot of young kids now. So tell me, one, what made you start taking on kids as clients? And two, how does it make you feel knowing that you're making an impact in these kids' lives?
Adults don't listen. And as sad as it is, they're not moldable because a lot of adults are stuck in their own ways. Some of them are, some of them are not so much. So I started taking kids and I was like, let me see what I can do. And I have built a lot of kids from the ground up, including your daughters,
Mhm.
including your daughters. And it's different. I fell in love with it. So yeah.
And what is your favorite part about seeing these kids? Because you have this one girl who you post, and it's like the most viral clips. Because she a little bad A.
With the braces,
Yeah,
Emma, yes.
she cold.
Yeah.
And every time you guys do collaborations together, it goes crazy. What is like if you had to say one thing is the most impactful to you when it comes to seeing those little girls, specifically the little girls come up and grow up and find their confidence? Like, how does that make you feel?
That I just hope that when they get older, they don't allow certain things from just learning from me. I hope it speaks to them. And I know I'm not their parent, but I am an extension because it takes a village, right? So the best thing is seeing them grow. And when they know that they're growing, they know, like the smile at the end of every video, the gleam in their eyes at the end of every video. And sometimes the little girls, they look at me and they go, I really want to make her proud. I really want to make my coach proud. And it's crazy. Don't make me emotional. We've done this before.
It's all of that. But here's the thing, though. The question that I have is, so we see the boxing side of things and the empowerment that you have. Do you have conversations with these little girls to kind of inspire them or push them or motivate them or any sort of thing? Or is it just like
No, it's not like we sit down. It's more like we go through the day. And if they have a problem, they talk to me about it. And to have a little girl sit down and tell me an issue that she's having is crazy. But we tackle it right then and there. Sometimes being motivational is not what they need. It's like the realness. Like, hold on, what's up? Like, why, it can't be always like big words or like phrases. You just have to talk to them sometimes and have a conversation with them.
Yeah, and I know you said that you're not their, you're not their mother. However, we know that people who are outside of the mom and dad become like the most influential to people. There's not that the discipline that you get from your parents, but then when you go around people who are, you quote unquote idolize or you look
Yes.
up to, and
Yes.
it's like they watch how you carry yourself, they watch how you talk, that shapes people. And so for you being like how you are in their presence essentially is going to be probably one of the biggest, determining factors in the quality of people that they become. And teaching them discipline, teaching them respect, teaching them how to listen, teaching all of the small things, but also, and this is one thing I think that makes you special versus training, because I'm in the training space, the space you create for people to be vulnerable. The more you can create a space for people to be honest with you, the more you're going to get out of somebody, but two, the more impact that you can make. And so do you feel like your fighters are able to have that level of vulnerability with you?
Some of them don't, because a lot of my fighters are older and they're boys. So it takes time to get them to be vulnerable. With the other men in the gym, they're vulnerable with them. But I think with me, it's like she's a woman, so I can't really speak to her about how I feel. But I try to let them understand the motherly figure in me so that they can open up to me. It's a little harder with my fighters.
Mhm.
A little harder, yeah.
Okay. Now, we have a lot of good that happens, right?
Whew,
A lot of a
yes.
lot of positivity. You know, there's always another side to the coin, and I'm sure you deal with it. Yeah, take a sip of water. But I'm sure you deal with the negative side of becoming, we'll call it, more visible, more popular, more sought after in the space that you're in. But do you deal with a level of hatred for who you are? Do you see any of those things?
I hear it. I hear it. And I see it in people and they try to, what's the word? I'm having a brain fart. There's a word for it. Passive aggressive. It's
Correct.
very
Yeah.
passive
Hmm.
aggressive. Yeah.
So it's stuck to your face then.
I mean, like, it's kind of like, so Netflix chose you.
Yeah.
Why? Why not? Like that.
So how do you handle those situations?
I just laugh. I don't think I still know how to handle it because I have such a people pleasing thing about me where I go, why don't you like me? I'm so likable. Why? I'm not a mean person. Why?
So before we started, I was telling you about the Mel Robbins book, Legend.
Yes, yes.
That's why I said I feel like it's
Good
probably
book.
a good one for you to a good audible to put on that 50,000 hour ride that you have to the gym, because I see that every morning, all the traffic that you sit in. And it'd be a good time though to put that audiobook on, because essentially in that audiobook it talks about how to deal with people who have opinions about what you have going on in your life. The narcissistic people that you might deal with, the passive aggressive people that you might deal with, but then also being a people pleaser. I was the biggest people pleaser. Like I had to have everybody that liked me, and I was confused when it was somebody who didn't like me, because I was like, I do so much good, right? We give back selflessly, but there's also an understanding that we have to have that a person that's successful does not have time to hate on another person that's successful. It's usually the people who are living inside of misery that want company. They say misery loves company, right? So
Yes.
it's usually that. And so like in the book, Mel Robbins will tell you, let them sit inside of that hatred. Don't even let it bother you. And then also do the things that you love because of how Cam is going to feel about it. What the world is going to think about you, if they're going to be mad at you or if you're going to love you. It's like we let the chips fall as they may. And so the idea is to let them and let me. Let them think, let them do, let them be, let them exist, and let me do what I'm supposed to do. So when you say you don't know how to deal with it, it's like, well, I think this is a and for anybody who deals with, you know, a little bit of a crisis on not knowing how to handle adversity or not knowing the correct way to deal with people. Because the hardest thing, it seems like success is supposed to be easy. It seems like it's supposed to be filled with happy moments, but it's like, as for the millions of people who love who you are, there's like 500 who are just like, they're
No.
just,
Oh, no.
are they men or are these women, or is it a mixture?
Mostly men.
Really?
Yeah,
That is surprising.
mostly men.
Okay, can you elaborate?
Well, in the field that I am, We already know it's a predominantly male sport, even though women are making noise here, but it's just like a hatred for me. I don't know why. I don't know why. I truly don't understand.
They only hate the ones that are great. Caitlin Clark, LeBron James. The people who get the most hate are the people who are the best at what they do. You have more eyeballs on you. You have more people who are quote unquote experts. You have people who have no credentials who want to tell you. And you also have people who want to be where you're at.
Yeah.
And I've always been, of a belief that if you look at the most famous people in the world are the ones who they get judged the most. The basketball player gets the most hate
LeBron.
by far.
By far.
But he's the best basketball player we've seen in 30 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not even up for a debate. I mean, he's in conversations about being the best ever. What woman, every time you turn on TV, what woman basketball player do you hear them talking about?
Caitlin Clark. Oh, and the other girl.
Angel Reese.
Yes, yeah.
And they're attached to each other. But they talk about Caitlin. The hate is so strong for Caitlin, and they make it a black and white thing.
Yeah.
But it's really because she's the best. She's so good at what she does.
Yeah.
They gotta find something wrong with it. She scored the most points in college basketball history, men or women. Yeah, they're gonna find something to not like about you. Because you're like the biggest target. The better you are, the bigger the target. Who's the most successful boxer in the last?
Floyd.
Who gets talked about?
Yeah, they hate on him.
So it's like the ones who are the most successful in their field have the biggest targets on their back. And it's hard. You got to be so unbothered, that it's just like, I'm going to let y'all hate and do whatever it is because there's no reason. You're not a bad person. Yeah. You're just successful. And some people just don't like
Terrible. Listen to what you just said.
Isn't that crazy?
Goodness, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But, man, you'll never get head on somebody doing better than you.
Right.
So, that's always a interesting topic is to talk about why people feel like how they feel. But turning left, career is great. Would you say that your career is great?
Fantastic.
What do you have to look forward to as far as your career?
It's more growth, more reach.
So you have your gym right now.
Yes, I do.
Tell us about your gym.
The gym has been open for almost 4 years now. It is probably one of the most popular gyms.
What's the name?
In that Cannon Nation, Santa Fe Springs. It's by Whittier. Yes, it is. The dynamic, and plus I'm there.
There we go. Hey, I wanted you to say it.
Yeah.
So you have a pretty hefty roster right now.
We have. I mean, the other owner is a champion. We got coaches in there who train world champions. It's great in there. It's great in there.
And if people wanted to take lessons there, how do they go about doing that?
Contact me or the gym. The gym has an Instagram page, Cannon Nation Boxing Gym.
Boxing gym.
Yes.
All right. Now, is there any plans beyond the gym?
Like, as far as my career goes?
Well, as far as expansion, growing within the gym.
Yes.
What are some future plans that you might have?
We need a bigger space. We probably need to open another one. I think we have over 200 clients in that space.
Blessed.
Yes. So
Blessed.
expansion is the key word.
But I know you're thinking about it. Is there any plans that are in motion or anything that you're looking at right now as far as what's next?
Besides my book?
Besides your book?
No, my book is going to be my baby right now. That's going to be my main goal. I mean, of course, if other things come along and I'm able to do so, then yes. Well, my boo Netflix got to let me know too, because I'd be open for him.
Speaking of, left turn, we're talking. It's that left turn without talking about Cam's romantic life.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
I'm sure you get it all the time. I see all the hard eyes on your posts, and people are obviously you're a successful person. You're an attractive person. You're in the fitness space, and people are of admiration of you. But you haven't been in a relationship that I know of, in a minute. What's the current update on Cam's love life?
There is no update. I am still very single. Very single. I'm not sure why. Man, that is That's vulnerability, right? I don't know why. I don't know why. I have no idea. Maybe you know why?
Well, the reason why people are single or whatnot is
Mm,
it's never a simple answer, right? Situation. But also one of the things that I learned is right person, right place, right time.
right.
But also for like another person, finding somebody who is the right person at the right time of their life and they have the space and capacity and desire for a relationship. That's usually like the hardest thing is to find somebody who's where you're at mentally. Do you desire to be in a relationship?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, when I say relationship, do you desire to be, a wife? Is that something that you desire to be?
Yeah. So I remember when we last talked about this, my feminine energy was in question, right?
Yes.
Not just by you, but I was told that I harbor a lot of masculine energy.
Hmm.
So I started trying to see how to become more feminine. And it takes a lot of work.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of work. More soft spoken, not speaking too much when being spoken to. It's just so many things that derive from being feminine. I've been stuck in such a masculine place for so long. I sometimes act like a man. So, but yes, I would like to be in a relationship.
Well, you know that most like women who are, I guess single parents and
Yes,
you have to not only raise and take care of yourself, but also a child, it pulls masculine out of you.
it does.
There are things can be true at the same time as not desirable. Right. You
Right.
don't desire to be, it's not something that you want to be. However, survival is survival.
Yes.
You've had to survive. You've had to provide. Provision is a masculine trait,
Yeah.
whether we like it or not. There things are true whether we like them or not.
Right.
Right? There are certain traits that women have, depending on your level of spirituality. People know I'm into the Bible.
Yes.
I'm very much aligned with who I get to be spiritually.
Mhm.
And men have their things that they're supposed to do, and women have their things that they're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Men lead, protect, provide. Women were really made for to be helpmates and also nurturers. And that's just a part of it. And so now our generation, things have kind of gotten convoluted.
That's a lot.
You've had no choice but to pull out masculine energy, which is fine. Now, the idea is, yes, you would like to be, married, but have you made the decision saying, I'm going to carry myself like a wife? Do you know what that is?
No, I don't want to sit here and lie and
Mhm.
say that I do. Certain things are, I mean, obviously, you don't dress a certain way, you don't act a certain way. These are just, I mean, but it goes back to you had mentioned it before. A lot of little girls look up to me. A lot of young women follow me. So if you followed me from a long time ago, my content and how I dress now is very different from back then. Back then, I was dressed like I didn't really care what people thought about me. I had on, I think I would post like, not I think, I know, because I did it. Hello. I would post in bikinis and things like that. And it's just kind of like, okay, what for? Like you're not at the beach. Why are people, things like that. So I take pride now in being somebody that's followed by a lot of people. And I didn't even have to take off a piece of clothing.
You said that before. Yeah.
I take a lot of pride in that.
It's great though. And I will tell you from a man's perspective, that is because people are going to hear that and like, what does me being in a bikini have to do with me wanting to be a wife? Whether you like it or not, the more you put yourself out there as a object. Men are sexual beings. We see women, and
Absolutely.
especially men who don't have any self control, they sexualize women. And you have now gone from somebody who I consider a partner or a wife, and you've now gone into somebody who I'm just thinking about having a good time. And we, as men and women, we get to protect how we project.
Mm,
What we are, the energy that we're putting out. Am I putting out energy that's so for me, I had to say I want to be a husband before I get my wife, I have to act like a husband. how I talk has to match what I want, how I talk to women, how I dress, my appearance. Am I somebody who just wants attention? And we know a lot of attention for women pays well. It pays well and it feels good to have a lot of people who look at you and they have things to say that make you feel great in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's addicting. It's a drug. It's like a dopamine hit to have people. So once you have learned as a woman to escape that and not really care,
Yeah.
which is what it sounds like, where you're at, now you have to have what's called patience. Patience meets opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Now, are you putting yourself in opportunities to meet someone?
Yes and no. Like I go out with my girls. But funny thing, I went to the gas station the other day and this gentleman, he approached me. He said, "Wow, you are beautiful." And of course I said, "Thank you." And then he said, I don't know if I've ever shared this, but he said, "I would never date you because you seem like you're a lot to maintain
hmm
and and that's too much for a guy like me." And that's frustrating.
But you know what, though? Hats off to him.
For telling the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys will lie
True.
and and then you'll get with them and you'll be like,
This is not it.
this ain't what I thought that we had signed up for. And hats off to him for realizing that he probably was not who you needed to be. Because I wish more men were honest.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with you. You're putting yourself at this level to where the kind of guy that you want is in a very small pool. It's a very small pool of guys. You don't want to be in a pool that has a bunch of people who aren't, because your lifestyle is at a certain place.
Is it?
Is you're not regular. We can be humble, but we can also be honest.
Okay.
Most people aspire to be financially where you're at and also have access to the things that you have access to. You don't exist in a regular world. It may be regular to you, maybe regular to us,
Yeah.
but the average guy driving around, it might not be for them. And so, go ahead.
But that's not a problem to me. I don't see myself as a not non-regular person because I would love a regular partner. Who am I supposed to be dating?
So was my next question.
It's like, who am I supposed to be?
So, okay, if you had to describe
Okay.
or write down on a piece of paper, maybe you've done it before. We've all had a list,
Yes.
but if you had an updated list, what would be the characteristics of someone who you want to be your partner?
I think we
Yeah, we're at a different point in our
in our lives. Okay.
we're always evolving. I'm a way different person than I was in our last interview, and I was a different person in our last interview than I was in our last conversation. If just because you didn't speak a lot last time, you gave these short answers, but I want you to tell us if you had no limitations, your ideal partner.
I just want, okay, from the top to the bottom, somebody who is committed, somebody who is kind but also strong, like strong enough to lead, somebody who knows that I am also strong but knows that I am a woman, right? I mean, I don't exactly know how to say that without offending anybody. Somebody who likes to spend time, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be grand because all that goes away, you know. And don't get me wrong, it's great. It's great to go out and spend $700 on whatever it is people spend it on. But I just want somebody who I can share regular moments with. You know, like I want to know what keeps you up at night and I want to help why you're staying up. I want to be the reason why you're at peace. I want to be the reason why you can talk to me every day. I want those types of things. The big question is money, right? Does the guy I date have to make more or the same amount as me? So, and I brought this up earlier. I was at dinner with my friends and one of my friends goes, "Well, if he doesn't make more money than me, then he has to feel it. He's going to know that he doesn't make more money than me." And my response was, "Why? If you treat a man that way, men go through enough as it is. And I'm going to say this straight to people. Men don't vocalize what they go through on a day-to-day basis. They harbor so much energy and responsibility that they do not speak on. They just handle it and they just tackle it. And that's it. That's what people don't understand. So when you go and you make a man feel less than for something that he's probably taken so long to achieve just because he doesn't make as much money than you, is not going to make him a better man for you. It's not going to make him want to be a provider for you. All you're doing is breaking this man down. And that's the issue. Women don't know that their expectations of men, which are so high sometimes, so high when they don't even have a bucket to piss in, is breaking a man down. And they wonder why men now are so feminine. And that's just the truth. You know, my dad never made as much money as my mom, but my mom never let my dad feel that. She never let my dad feel that. My dad was always still the king of the castle, as it should have been. Why do we need to change that? And look, my parents have been married for years. For years. They just celebrated their 40th anniversary 2 days before my birthday. That is the type of marriage and that is the type of relationships people need to look up to, not whatever is going on social media. And all this advice on social media, 90% of it is BS. We're throwing the word gaslighting and narcissist around without even really knowing the full meaning of it. It's like, oh, this person didn't tell me why they didn't take me out on a date. He's a narcissist or she's a narcissist. Where did that even come from? Where did that even come from? What is the backstory? What's the study on this? But no, if a man doesn't make as much as me, that's okay. He's not me. I am not him. I don't know his path and I would like to get to know it. But if that's not what he has, then we build towards that. That's why you're a team. You build towards it.
I have a couple follow-up questions, but to kind of piggyback on that, I think Shannon Sharp had an interview with Shirley Caesar. Yeah, we're not gonna go into his whole. That man could have made a lot better decisions, but he had an interview with, I think it was Shirley Caesar.
Yeah.
And she talks about how she makes more money than her husband. And he asked the question, he said, so does that mean that you make the decision? She was like, no, my man still leads my marriage. And he's like, even if you, this is the problem. People don't understand order. Finances was never a part of our order. It was to be a leader does not always mean financially, right? And then for a woman to understand that my job is to be a helpmate. Sometimes it's finances that I'm supposed to help with, or sometimes it's taking care of the house, but whatever it is, it's like we're in this partnership, and whatever you need help with, whether it's building your businesses or maybe your finances is good so I can be a helpmate in other departments.
Right.
But women who are successful, because that's just the way that it is now. Women are way more successful because today's are not like they used to be. When women could not work, when women could not vote, when it was frowned upon for women to have any sort of career, times are different.
Right.
Women are successful. We're in a time right now where there are a lot of women who are in powerful positions. And during that interview, she talked about it never matters how much money that she makes. She's always going to look at her man as the head of the household. You like, we put our money together and this is what we got, not what I got.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think for you have parents who can model like expectations after. But unfortunately for a lot of our generation, two-parent household is almost like a joke. When I was growing up, it was a running joke of like little black boys without their dads, right? Like you can think it back at the time to where it was like a joke on TV a lot, or it was like a little slight jab in television shows. It was very common for it to be single mom, single parent household, because our parents and then their parents, to not go way left with the conversation, but we're products of, the war on drugs and war in general, and just divorce rate being crazy. And so it's very common for people like me to see a single parent struggling. Now for you have a different ideology because, you had two parents and they showed you what love actually looks like. Now, You named all of those things, those qualities of a man. Now, two questions. One, is your love language quality time then, or what is Cam's love language?
Physical touch.
Physical touch. Okay.
Yeah,
That's primary.
primary physical touch. I like to be held, and I like, yeah, physical touch.
Okay.
Quality time is,
Second, would that be
yeah,
your secondary? I kind of picked because all the things you were saying that have to deal with spending time.
yeah.
Okay. Now, you said all those great things, but you didn't give us any attributes.
I know. It's so,
Matters though.
it does. I don't know. I mean,
Be vain though. Like be vain because we
like,
be vain.
he gotta be fit.
Yeah, come on now.
Um,
These
he gotta be fit. I mean, wow. I always joke and I say he has to know how to box, but that's no, I mean, he has to know how to protect himself at least, right? I don't have a preference in color, so that's not a thing. He just has to know how to take care of himself. Oh, a nice smile would be great. Nice smile.
yep, tall, short.
Oh, I mean, they gotta be taller than me, and I'm short. I'm like 5'1", 5'2".
Short King's got a chance. Okay. Shout out to the Short King.
Now to the
Yeah.
yeah, so no, that's it. I'm not picky. Okay, a little. I'm a little.
We should be though. Stop trying to be correct.
Okay, all right. I'm picky, but I'm not like they don't have to be perfect.
Right.
So, yeah.
They're perfect for you though.
Yeah.
We all have our own preferences. And
To be
days. Be honest, yeah, because being fit is kind of in your brand.
like a ab or two. One or two abs, maybe 3 or 4.
Maybe lifestyle is
Yes.
an active lifestyle. Some guys aren't fortunate enough to be ripped up or whatever. But I mean, you're in the field of boxing, like you have around some of the most fit people in the world.
Yes.
So it
Yeah.
just it's an alignment. There's something you haven't touched on though when it comes to men. The security because of the job that you do, you find that it's hard because you might have, be dealing with men who have insecurities.
Yeah, I deal with a lot of that. Actually, the last relationship I was in told me to pick between boxing or him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You never knew that?
No,
As long as we've known each other, you've never.
I don't think you've told me that though.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
yeah. He didn't like that I was with a lot of men every day.
Okay.
And he was like, I can't do this. I don't know what you're doing in that gym. I thought I told you that.
No, I mean, you never didn't tell me that he told you to choose.
But the funny thing is, he was always at the gym with other women training.
Okay, so this brings up a very good topic though.
That's-
When you first entertain the thought of dating someone,
yeah.
what is the conversation like that you're having this discernment of saying this is somebody who I can see myself with or somebody who I can't see myself with? What conversation are you having
With myself?
Yeah, like what are the check marks that you're looking for?
I mean, they obviously have to. It's not the most important thing, but I'm not as big of no, I am a big believer in God.
Mhm.
I don't show my belief the way that you do, but I pray every day. I know you go to church every Sunday and you read your Bible. Every time I crack open my Bible, I close it back up. And I don't know why that is, but that's a whole nother conversation for another time. The man that is going to date me has to be a believer in
For
God.
sure.
Because we need to pray together before we eat
Mhm.
and before we go to bed, things like that. And they have to respect.
For the last piece of our conversation today, you kind of were having a conversation about some women who you were, having some discussions with about why. I think the remark is why you don't have or aren't in relationships or why you don't have men or whatever it is. Was that it?
Yes, they're going to kill me, but whatever. So I was having dinner. It was dinner. We were having dinner, and I have friends who are successful. They're very successful. One is a police officer, one is a therapist. The list goes on and on. But I go, and then there's me, right? And then I look around and I'm like, I don't mind having dinner with each other. But then I go, man, like, we are all single. Why? We're successful. None of us are ugly. I don't think so, at least. Why are we single? Everybody had a different answer. Well, men don't make as much money as I do, and this one doesn't do, and it's just like, that can't be it. Is that what it is? I'm talking to a man now, guys, so
Yeah.
we're gonna figure this out.
Yeah. And also, I guess to give some context about myself too, before I say anything, is, I'm a individual who I'm a Christian. I follow Christian beliefs, and I have a successful business. Have had a successful business for a while. I meet all kinds of people,
Okay.
right? And so I exist as somebody who is fairly qualified to speak in these spaces, because
Okay.
I've been a guy who has had a lot of failed relationships with successful people and not successful people.
Okay.
And so I think one of my gifts though is like being able to have outer body experiences to where I can just kind of like look at how I was and kind of like give people perspective as well as
Okay.
to why things, without it being a personal attack, because it's never a personal attack. But if anybody is having a conversation of a man making more money than them and that's important for them, they're already probably off base. They're a little bit off base on what they're looking for, right? Because I like when you share that how the amount of money that you make, money shouldn't even be a part of the first things that you're really looking for, right? Now, does somebody make enough to take care of themselves? Right. So as a woman who is very successful, you make a lot of money. So if money is an issue for you, why is it an issue in your relationship? If you don't have a problem with finances, then finances shouldn't be what you're looking for in a man. You should be looking for a man who is successful in his own right. Finances aside, if y'all put it together, y'all gonna have a lot. You should look for somebody who is ready to be a husband, somebody who understands what it means to be a leader, a protector, a provider, somebody who knows what it means to be honest and have integrity, and somebody who understands what it means to be a righteous man.
Right.
That's when I asked you, what are the first questions that you ask? These should be the things that women are checking off.
Right. Right.
Okay, cool. Is he ready to date? You know what ready to date means? He can take care of himself and he has space to take care of other people. And taking care of does not always mean financially. Sometimes you're taking care of somebody emotionally. Sometimes you're taking care of somebody spiritually.
Right.
Sometimes you're taking care of somebody in ways that they didn't even know that they needed to be taken care of. So when you're looking at successful women, you got to take finances off of the table. Because are you saying what's yours is ours and what's mine is mine? Or my one of my mentors, Pastor Charles is his name. His wife is in banking. She makes great money. He makes good money too. Neither of them really knows who makes the most. They both make money and they have a bank account.
Right.
Every month the money goes into their bank account. She's good with money. She's a banker. He gets his monthly allowance. She gets her monthly allowance. There's no issue with finances because the pot takes care of everything. If the pot takes care of everything and we're not worrying about things getting paid for, she books the trips and the vacations and all that. There's probably months that he makes more. There's probably months that she makes more. Finances doesn't matter. They've been married for 45 years. They've traveled the world together. He's so happy, and he tells me when he start looking for the things and the characteristics of a wife versus the things that the world would tell us that we're supposed to look for, he found the person who he was supposed to be with. And they built something bigger than what it was when they first got together.
Right.
Sometimes you can be that. Sometimes one of those women, you can be the catalyst to find the right kind of man to have him go into a whole nother stratosphere of whatever he has going on. And he can really take care of y'all like how you thought. So that's the first part. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, it sounds like your pastor or your mentor and his wife trust one another.
Correct.
Too. There's a lot of trust and foundation there, so that's also important.
Yeah, but I don't look. My thing is, it's order. Relationship checkbox 1. Am I ready to be in a relationship? What does that mean? Have I healed my past traumas? which a lot
Mm,
of it is trust,
right.
right? If you've dealt with men in the past who you can't trust, or you've dealt with men who cheated on you, or whatever the case may be, are you healed enough to not take that into your next relationships?
Right.
That's some of the first things that you get to do. Am I relationship prepared? Is the question. It's like, am I prepared to go into a relationship where I can trust somebody else again,
Hmm.
and I'm able to give without thinking about what I'm going to get back?
How do you know when you're healed, though?
Well, I think that's
I know that's a personal.
oh yeah, it is. It's a personal question, but in my opinion is when you don't get offended by
Mm-hmm.
the thought of that person or the situation. We talked about it ironically at church today. It's like our forgiving.
Right.
So forgiveness is the biggest part of healing.
Yeah.
And this might be a little personal, but you got to ask yourself, have you forgiven those men who did you how they did you in your past?
Mm.
Not saying that it's okay, but have you saying, I forgive you because it's not for them, it's for you. If you haven't forgiven, then it's still something that you hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not healed from it.
Right.
You're not healed from things that still alter how you move and alter your mood. And so you have to ask yourself, in situations that you deserve to be angry about,
Yeah.
in situations that you deserve to lash out about, but have you say, I'm healed enough to where even if I talk about it, and I think we might have had a conversation similar to this before, just
Yeah.
off topic, does it trigger you? Does it
No.
set you off?
No.
Because we had a moment when we were at that healing
I
event.
remember, yeah, it was, I cried. I cried. See, but that's the thing. And that's what I was going to ask you. I am healed from it,
Mm,
but why? Because I don't even understand why it triggered me
mhm.
like that. Maybe because I talk about it enough,
Right.
right? But maybe because I didn't talk about it at that emotional capacity, or I don't talk about it enough emotionally that way. Not sure.
Have you said though that you forgive them?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the first part of it. The first part is truthfully having forgiveness. Now, we are still human and we have the human experience. So
Yeah.
things are going to trigger us in a moment. But if it doesn't affect how you treat other people,
Right.
then because it's my belief that we're never always healed. Like we're never all the way healed. We're not that good
Yeah.
of creatures to 100% heal from things.
Right.
Because you're never healed from lust. You're never healed from all of the things. You'll have moments that challenge you,
Yeah.
right? And those are probably moments that challenge you. But if you have like moments that make you move a different kind of way, that's how
Mhm.
you know you're not healed from it. So
Mhm.
you might be healed from those things, but those women they might not be healed from whatever, who knows what happened.
Yeah.
Who has ladies, they might be afraid of, finances. They might need a man in their mind. They might think that they need a man who makes a lot of money
Right.
because of something that happened in their past when they weren't
Exactly.
up and they got with a guy who wasn't up
Yeah.
and they just was trying to figure it out because
Right.
finances causes the most issues
It
in
does.
people's lives.
Mhm.
And when you look around and kind of going back to this round table dinner discussion that y'all were having, it has to be like the question that I asked you a while ago. Are you even ready for a husband? And are you ready to, more so than anything, be a wife? Do you know what it means to be a wife? And you might know, but your friends don't know. And I guess you're sitting there like, okay, well, if I know, then why don't I have somebody? And my
Yes.
answer would truthfully be, and it's not even a crazy one. It's just like it's just time. In the Bible, people wait 40 years. 40 years seems to be very common for a waiting period for blessings. 40 days, 40 years, 40 weeks. It shows up, but the constant theme is waiting. I mean, I'm not married either. I'm 30. I'll be 38. And I'm not married either. You're not. We're not married, but it
Right.
doesn't mean something's wrong with us. It just means that for the kind of people that we require, is not a lot of.
Can I say that because you asked, am I ready to be a wife?
Right.
Getting ready is my answer. It's not, I'm ready right now. Because I know some women who are wives shouldn't even be wives. Were they ready when they got married? So getting ready, constantly getting ready to be someone's wife. That's my answer.
So then maybe you just answered your question as to why you're single.
The truth.
Because I mean, you can't
Because God
have.
knows I'm not ready
Yeah.
yet.
And if especially if you're aligned with him, if you're
Yeah.
aligned with him, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. I
Yeah.
think we're in a time to where we feel like everything has to be. We want to rush a lot of things. Maybe you don't even want it right now, but you want to know when. Like, when is it gonna happen?
I want to know who.
Yeah, of course.
Who?
Of course.
Yeah.
And I think the most beautiful thing is as you meet people, being able to have discernment to say this is not it, even if you like them,
Right.
even if they're attractive,
Right.
the values that's what I'm saying. Ask those questions. What's your relationship like with God? If that's important to you, then ask them, what's your relationship to God? Where you at on your journey? Because we're all at different places with journey. Some people are not even on the journey, they don't believe it, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna want somebody. For me, like for instance, I want a woman who's not going to take me away from the church, but is going to lead me more into,
Mhm.
my passion. And whenever I might be in a rut, because I deal with lots of people,
Yeah.
just in the day to day. Hey, shoot me some scripture real quick, or pray with me and like get me back
Right.
on my square. Like, don't add to the stress of my
Yeah.
life, add to the peace of my life. Yeah, we're gonna go through things naturally as relationships do.
Yeah.
But I think, as we just kind of turn the corner, is maybe you answered the question not for yourself as well, but you answered it for everybody who's sitting at that table with you, or the women who you might have conversations with in the future. When they ask you, why don't they ask the question, are you ready to be a wife? Are you there? Do you live your day to day? Because like let's take careers for example.
Mhm.
Like you have people who are preparing for title fights.
Right.
You have people who probably will be a champion,
Yes.
but they're not ready to be a champion today.
Not right now. No.
So why don't they have the title right now?
Because they're not. They need to prepare for it.
And they are prepared for it,
Yeah.
and they understand how good they can be. But sometimes our prize is we're in the process of being worthy or ready for that prize.
Can I just say something though? It's hard too when you are the only woman in your family
Mhm.
that's not getting married, that has nobody, and you're the oldest. I'm the oldest out of all the women in my family. Well, the cousins and the granddaughters and things like
Mhm.
that. So I get the constant question of, "What about you?" I just came from a bridal shower.
Can I ask you a question about
Sure.
those people? What
It's
do
my
what do
family.
what do they do for a living? Like your sisters?
No, 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 like my mom.
But I'm saying like the ones that are getting married, right? What do they do for a living?
Oh, they're nurses. Why?
Because of course everything's for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Maybe your mission was way bigger than theirs.
Man. Yeah, I get that.
Maybe your calling, so getting those distractions that could have knocked you off, maybe who you're supposed to be and the things that you're supposed to do
Yeah.
require isolation.
Right.
And not saying anything, as nurses save people's lives on a daily
They do.
basis, right? But the reach that they have is limited to where they're at.
True.
Your reach has become unlimited. And the amount of people that you will impact, the people who don't even know you exist yet, you haven't even seen the pool of people that you're going to reach. So maybe Cam's mission is way bigger than the people who are. Maybe in your family, you might at the end of your days have the biggest story to tell because you've impacted the most people. Sometimes, look, being the one is hard
It is.
because you can't have conversations of relatability with people because your sisters, or people in your family, they might not have people relying on them to be strong every single day. They might just work and do what they're supposed to do. But you have a calling that is bigger than what you even know and what you expect. And at the end of it might be that relationship. At the end of it, when you get in these rooms, imagine you get in these Netflix rooms or these rooms that you probably your name is being talked about that you have not gotten into yet. Maybe he's there. Maybe he's waiting on you to ascend to that version of Camille
Right.
that you haven't gotten to yet. Because maybe you haven't even gotten to the level where that kind of guy that you like that blows you away. Like,
Mhm.
shoot, this where y'all be at?
Seriously. I
You
know.
might walk into a meeting one day and you might meet somebody and it just completely changes your idea and it's going to happen like that. It's going to happen that fast. You're going to meet somebody and you're going to be blown away by you didn't know that quality of individual existed and the kind of person that they are and the journey that they're on, because maybe they're not ready yet neither, but the journey that they're on is you guys are on a collision course, but maybe your mission is not done yet. Maybe what you got to accomplish you haven't fulfilled it yet, and maybe God is telling you be patient, but you're a part of a mission. And your mission right now is, I mean, can you imagine, just think about where you're at 3 years ago versus where you're at today.
Yeah, not the same place.
Not the same place, not the same reach.
Yeah, not the same reach.
It's not even like you reach now probably 3, 4, 5 times the amount of people that you were reaching when I first met you.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, like we were like the gym that you were in versus where you're at now. It's like you were just being prepared for something way bigger. So I think you just got to embrace your journey.
What is it? That is the hardest part. It's trusting God. It's so hard.
Trust me, you're confronted with that every day.
Yeah.
You know, but I think if you are a believer, then you got to wake up every day knowing that every day is purposeful. Every day is for a reason, and it's not like you're, let's just say like the nurse is like that's it.
I get what you're saying.
That's it. Like that, you're a nurse. Maybe there's promotion in that. You don't even know your platform. You have no idea where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
And so maybe you haven't even been in the rooms yet that you're supposed to be in, that you're going to be in, to all the way realize your worth and your value. And yes, we have the desires. God knows your desires. We hear it all the time. He knows the desires of our hearts. But sometimes he's like, I need you to go through some things first, grow through them things first, and complete the mission that I have for you first. And then that's what I chalked it up as. I had to bump my head a lot of times. I had to deal with things not working and relationships failing and all the things in order for me to appreciate when I get like the person who's going to be.
I'm happy you're in a relationship now. I meant to tell you that, by the way.
It's low key.
Yeah. My bad.
No, not like that. not like.
Sorry.
But what I've really realized though is for people who have lots of eyeballs on them, the more private that you can be or more personal that you can have things, it's unfortunate.
The more peaceful it is.
It's so unfortunate that we live in a time to where people want to disturb your peace just to rattle your cage.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And so when you finally deal with somebody who does not desire to have a bunch of attention and all of these things, it's like it can be its own thing. You can have no disruption inside of that. And that's where I want to exist as. I want to exist as, not have a lot of other opinions inside of my relationship, even family. It's like my partner is my choice,
right?
And because I got to live with this person for the rest of my life, and as the man, I got to take care of this person for the rest of my life. So, it's everything's a journey.
Yeah,
everything's a journey, and I think for you, I'm excited for you to be living inside of your purpose and to be happy where you're at. Don't worry about the men. They will come. I know you want to know, but I think you just got to say, thank you, God, for giving me purpose.
So
thank you, God, for allowing me to reach the people that I reach. And I know when it's my time, it's going to be
good.
It's going to be good. You're going to be wondering why you ever thought that all those other relationships were going to work.
That's great.
So to close it out today.
That was heavy.
Of course.
That was heavy.
Yeah. It gets like that. But it's always, and I always want to come from a place of neutrality. What's honest?
Right.
Because a year ago, we would have probably we would have been confused. Like, I don't know. Most people think that they are who they're supposed to be, and that's why they haven't found a person yet.
Right.
And it's like most people don't realize you're nowhere near who you're supposed to be. That's why you don't have the things that you have. The biggest thing is improving self. Go on a mission of becoming the best version of who you possibly can be. The things that happen along that journey are going to be unspeakable. I think with all the things you have on your plate, eat the food that's in front of you.
Right.
Show up as your best self and be surprised with, the blessings that are for sure going to happen for you. So to close out today, is there anything else that you want to share as far as your book or your messaging or anything else you want to touch on today?
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me plug my book.
Mm-hmm.
But
Again, let's let people know name of the book.
the name of the book is going to be Cam Did. Kamdid. Cam did. Cam did what she had to do to be here, and Cam went through what she had to go through to get here. Yeah,
And we don't have an expected date yet.
you will. You'll be the first to know.
Hey, look, I can't wait. I can't wait because I'm a fan. You know, of course, I'm a friend, but I'm a fan as well.
Thank you.
And I just like being around really good, solid people, people who I can have conversations with. And I'm rooting for you because not too many people like you exist.
Thank you.
It's a great balance of tenacity, perseverance, but also in a very gentle package.
Thank you.
So, you know, we don't play about Cam. We don't play about Cam. So, you know, what's on Cam's heart this evening? Is there anything heavy on your heart? Any message you want to send to any people out there? Is there anything that you want to sign off on?
You know, treat your kids. I don't know where this came from. Treat your kids properly. Raise them properly and love them. Love them. So they can grow up to be loving and to be good people. Love them. And that's it.
Love on them babies. That could we can go a whole
That's a whole another
conversation about parenting. You know, you have your son.
Yes.
I got my daughters.
Yeah.
And we understand the importance of creating good humans.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
Do not, please don't put your career before your children. Don't do that. I know you think you're making money for them but they need you. They need you. And that's it. That's it.
It might sound like we might even be doing a part 3 about parenthood. It is a whole nother beast to tackle though. But super proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm super excited to not only see the journey to this book coming to fruition, but all of the other things that you're going to be a part of. You know, you're always in our prayers here. So again, you guys, this has been an episode of the Way Too Clutch podcast. I'm your host, Steven, where we talk about everything faith, family, fitness. You guys got an introductory to Coach Cam. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
See you.